So time for the pre-final in the X30 Super Shifters. Stendorian Pitämäki has been the man on form most of the weekend. The Estonian fastest in qualifying by 0.07 of a second to Kaspar Koržius. He is going to be joining him on the front row of the grid. The two Estonians will battle away once more. Nico Rohrwasser in third position on the grid, with alongside him the Swiss driver Kevin Ludi. Philipp Siever and Barry Pullinger will be on the third row of the starting grid. Then it will be Thierry Delray, the Belgian, who had so much bad luck yesterday, but he has the speed to win this. He knows that. Michel Biffiger on the fourth row of the grid from Antti Rameau of Estonia and the Spaniard Carlos Leon, with the Belgian Lionel Chalet, João Dias of Portugal, and at the back, Flo Jimenez, who had all sorts of difficulties yesterday. I've just been given an update to the X30 Juniors second chance heat, and there has been some changes. So to give you the confirmation now, the X30 Junior top six looks like this. Erik Alanis Bosch ahead of Alessandro Tedesca and Olli Pilka, from Tom Leben, Helen Nerudini and Javier Dadley. So the Kenyan and the German, Helen Nerudini of Germany and Javier Dadley of Kenya, have got through as a result of penalties for some of the other drivers in the field. So that is really interesting stuff. And unfortunately, it looks as though one of the drivers has been given a black flag, and that is Robin Norman. So his incident where he cut the third corner after being run wide off the circuit and rejoining at turn 3 has been treated with the black flag, unfortunately. So Robin Norman will not be progressing through. That's a real shame, and understandable why he did what he did, but unfortunately, as far as the officials are concerned, that's an illegal maneuver. So Erik Alanis Bosch, Alessandro Tedesca, Olli Pilka, Tom Leben, Helen Nerudini and Javier Dadley are the 6 Junior X30s that will go through. So back to the X30 Super Shifter pre-final, and there's going to be an interesting battle right from the word go for Stendorian Pitämäki and Kaspar Koržius. The two Estonians on the front row, they will lead us out, and battle will continue. So here is the grid. Stendorian Pitämäki and Kaspar Koržius from Nico Rohrwasser, Kevin Ludi, Philipp Siever, Barry Pullinger, Thierry Delray, Michel Biffiger, Antti Rameau, Carlos Leon, Lionel Chalet, João Dias and Florent Jimenez. So things are going to get quite interesting from here on in as the pre-final is about to get underway. Stendorian Pitämäki has been under immense pressure all weekend, only 0.07 of a second quicker than Kaspar Koržius over one lap in qualifying on Friday afternoon. But there's so much more to play for here today, as we've got 2 intense races ahead of us. The first of them is this one, the pre-final, and it's going to be 14 laps around this circuit. That's the equivalent of 21 kilometers around this 1,500-meter circuit. An absolutely magnificent spectacle for the Super Shifters. And of course, the reason why people are gathering in their hundreds around the circuit at this point is because it's the Super Shifter pre-final, and that means standing starts. Everybody loves watching the standing starts here on the Salbris circuit. It's got that electrifying buzz and that immense twang as they come off the line, and it sends a shiver right down the back of your spine off the start line. It's one of the most spectacular sights you're ever going to see in karting, is the standing start in X30 Super Shifter, as all 13 of them blast off the grid, hoping that they've got everything just right. So at the front, Stendorian Pitämäki has only failed to win once in the first race. They were telling me yesterday, Stendorian, he was telling me that the team took a bit of a risk on their setup for the second race after the first race setup wasn't quite the way they wanted to go. They took a gamble, and it's been working for them ever since. The second and third races were an absolute dream for Stendorian Pitämäki. Now it's actually a little bit warmer than it was yesterday. The sun has come out even earlier than it did yesterday, so it's going to be a bit of a knife edge in terms of strategy. The track is going to be warmer, and that means it's going to be very, very interesting. It's amazing to think that next door in Belgium, on Spa-Francorchamps, they were buried in a couple of inches of snow, and you couldn't negotiate Eau Rouge without boots. Here at Salbris, only a few hundred miles away, it is almost like the beginning of summer here. Absolutely amazing. So Stendorian Pitämäki on pole position, Kaspar Koržius in second, Nico Rohrwasser is third, Kevin Ludi fourth, from Philipp Siever, Barry Pullinger, Thierry Delray, Michel Biffiger, Antti Rameau, Carlos Leon, Lionel Chalet, João Dias and Florent Jimenez. The 13 karts line up on the starting grid. Get ready to hold on to something and pin back your ears. This is what everybody wants to see. The X30 Super Shifter standing start. The flag comes off, and we're ready to race. Stendorian Petomagi on the left, Kasper Korjus on the right. The lights are on, we're racing! What a start from the second row from Kevin Luddy! Launches forward, nearly gets second. Rohrwasser squeezes him out. Terrific explosion of noise and colour, but at the front, Stendorian Petomagi remains. Rohrwasser second, Luddy third, Korjus down to fourth position. What a start from Kevin Luddy on the second row. Blasts forward and emerges in the battle. Now Kasper Korjus is trying to race into the sixth corner, and he's got him after an exit from turn 5. That was a pure dream. Petomagi leads, Rohrwasser second, Korjus third, and Luddy fourth. So all that hard work has been undone. We got someone off at turn 6. Someone's off at turn 6. I think that might be Antti Rameau. We'll double check it as they come through. Oh no, it's Lionel Chalet. It's the Belgian. Lionel Chalet has gone off at turn 6. But look at Stendorian Petomagi. Again, he is just disappearing from the fray out in front. So Stendorian Petomagi goes out of the final turn, crosses the line, and has already got a blistering gap to the rest of over a second. See you later, boys. I'm off. Petomagi leads the way. Rohrwasser second, Korjus third from Luddy, Siva. Then we have Del Rey in 6th position, and T. Rameau is there in 7th. Then we have Carlos Leon, Barry Pullinger, Florian Jimenez, Michel Biviga, and Joao Diaz. Out of the back of the field, trying to make up the time, is Lionel Chalet. But Stendorian Petomagi is just extending the gap. He's going about 0.2 of a second faster than everybody else in one sector alone. And up the inside, that is a bit of a tight squeeze. Thierry Del Rey feels the heat there. As up the inside goes Philip Siva, and that gives Antti Rameau and Carlos Leon nowhere to go. Barry Pullinger makes up a place as a result of that, past Carlos Leon up into 8th place. Much more exciting racing than we saw yesterday, and it was pretty good stuff then. Over the course of the last 24 hours, we've seen some exciting stuff from the Super Shifters. Here in the pre-final, we're really seeing them rip the race circuit apart. Petomagi leads it. 1.7 ahead of Rohrwasser, Korjus and Luddy. And these three are going to be battling throughout. Second position up for grabs. I don't think a win is on the cards anymore. Stendorian Petomagi's marching ahead. The Estonian is in charge of this one. But then it's Rohrwasser, Korjus, and Luddy. It's a Korjus sandwich on Spirit Racing bread at the moment as Korjus dives down the inside of Rohrwasser, pushes a little too far over the apron, and now puts himself back into position. There's a little bit of nudging, and Korjus had to back out of it. This is a great chance for Luddy, and now Philip Siva to get into the action. Thierry Del Rey is there in 6th position as well, wanting to move forward. Has that released Nico Rohrwasser? No, Korjus has been very aggressive onto the brakes in 13, and he's nearly caught Rohrwasser back up. Siva's trying to go around the long way on Luddy. That opens the door for Del Rey, who will not be denied. Del Rey squeezes him, and Siva's got nowhere to go. He has to back out of it, and now Barry Pullinger and Antti Rameau are going to set him up. Brilliant racing. This is only lap 4 we're going into now, and it's even more intense than we've seen from the X30 Super Shifters all weekend. The victory is gone. Stendorian Petomagi is nearly 3 seconds up the road, having done a 60.123. That's a second quicker than anybody else nearly. But the second place battle is on as Korjus dives down the inside of Rohrwasser. And this time has he held on? We'll find out in the next shot, but yes he has. So Rohrwasser is now down to 3rd position, Korjus in 2nd. So it's Estonia, Switzerland, Belgium in the top 4. Philip Siva, the Swiss, is in there as well in 6th place. X30 Super Shifter is just Estonia versus Switzerland at the front end, with a few more nationalities getting a look in as Thierry Del Rey makes the move on Kevin Luddy for 5th place as well. And he signals to Luddy, come on, we need to catch up with this guy. Look at how fast Stendorian Petomagi is ahead of him. 3.5 seconds is the gap. How is he doing this? Well, Stendorian Petomagi, oh, we got a spin out of the final turn. That's Joao Diaz. Joao Diaz has spun out of the final corner. And I think he's got a problem with the kart. So Stendorian Petomagi on the home straight. Stendorian Petomagi on the back straight, I should say, with Joao Diaz retiring on the back straight as Lionel Chalet passes to go into 12th place. But for Joao Diaz, his race is over. That is a real shame, actually, for him. He's worked very hard. making the adjustment. Last time we saw him in Valencia, he was on the Birilat chassis. This time he's on the Cosmic chassis for Spirit Racing. And it doesn't really look as though the Portuguese ace has had any further luck. Stendorian Pitamagi, wait, there's cautious. 3.5 seconds, but Del Rey's through to third. Thierry Del Rey is cutting through this field magnificently. Now, if he can get himself up into the top 2, or at least into the top 3, he's got a great chance in the final. Now, we know how quick Del Rey can be round here. Del Rey is the fastest of all in the first sector. Pitamagi is still the fastest of all in the second and third sectors, but Del Rey's got a bit of clean air now as he closes up to Casper Corjus. He's very quick. Only Stendorian Pitamagi and Thierry Del Rey are able to get 20.1s from the first sector. Or certainly low 20.1s, I should say. Casper Corjus is finally starting to match that pace. But now we've got a bit of a battle as Rohrwasser is trying to defend from Kevin Luddy. Luddy dives down the inside at turn 10 and takes over 4th position. That's the Kevin Luddy we've not been seeing for a lot of the weekend. Now he's got his sleeves rolled up. He's getting on with it. So Luddy is up to 4th place and signals to Rohrwasser, come on, let's not let them get away. Seaver is in 6th. Pullinger is 7th from Ramo, Leon, Bifiga and Florent Jimenez. Second place is now incredibly 3.8 behind Stendorian Pitamagi. Pitamagi's just done a 59.6. It is Michael Schumacher style domination at the front from Stendorian Pitamagi. The setup has just been oh so sweet. He was telling me yesterday, today's going to be hard work. You liar. It's looking like an absolute cakewalk. Look at it. A massive lead for Stendorian Pitamagi, the Estonian. He's making this look like child's play out in front. The card is absolutely nailed to the mast, and he's doing an amazing job out in front. Another purple sector 1, not a purple sector 2. 20.083 for the first sector, 17.917 for the second sector, but he is still the fastest of all in that second sector. So as far as Stendorian Pitamagi is concerned, it's about how far ahead he can be at the finish. At the end of this lap, which will mark the halfway point, 7 done, 7 to go, he's going to be 4 seconds clear. He's done another new fastest lap, 59.558. And it is 4 seconds the gap. Unbelievable. Corjus is second. Del Rey is third. Then it is Luddy, Rohrwasser, Seaver, Pullinger, Ramo. And Ramo's getting a bit of a hurry up from Carlos Leon at the moment. There is Leon tucked up behind Antti Ramo. Come on, man, get on with it. Barry Pullinger's in front of us, and he's chasing down Philip Seaver and Nico Rohrwasser. So Barry Pullinger starting to make a bid for the top 6. He's got the speed, but this is a tough trick to pull off because he's got 3 very feisty races to go for. Pullinger tries to make the move on Rohrwasser. It's not going to work there. Philip Seaver having got the better of Nico Rohrwasser that time. Rohrwasser was the winner at Valencia. Here at Salbris, he's having a much tougher job of it. Barry Pullinger tries again. Has a look towards turn 14, holding off Antti Ramo, who's got Carlos Leon to deal with. And still, Nico Rohrwasser hangs on in front of Barry Pullinger. Look who's joining the party behind. Michel Bifiga's closed up. And Carlos Leon just checks over his shoulder. Oh my, Michel is a lot closer than I thought he was. They dive for that second apex of turn 2. It's a nice tight turn in, but then it tightens on the exit. And now we're down the back straight after 5. Pitamagi leads by 4.3. Corjus and Del Rey are second and third, but the 4th place battle is where it's at. Luddy is not quite able to get away from Philip Seaver. Nico Rohrwasser leads the charge behind with Barry Pullinger close. Antti Ramo closer. Carlos Leon even closer. And Michel Bifiga starting to have a think about it now as well. This is 6th down to 10th. What a battle. Rohrwasser in 6th. Pullinger, Ramo, Leon and Bifiga for company. They're trying to close up on Philip Seaver. This is going to be a close one. You might have just caught a whisker of Stendorian Pitamagi as he goes into turn 1 now. He is that far ahead. There he is. And he's done another new fastest lap. 59.3. 59.375 for Stendorian Pitamagi. 4.6 seconds away from Casper Corjus. The man is absolutely determined to win this, but the second place battle spicing up. Thierry Del Rey has caught up to Casper Corjus now. Del Rey is faster in the first sector, as fast in the second sector, slightly quicker in the third sector. So Del Rey is actually going very fast indeed. Stendorian Pitamagi's just done a 20 dead in the first split. How is he still so much faster than everybody else? He's just got it set up perfectly today. Thierry Del Rey is second fastest in the entire race in the first sector. He's second fastest in the second sector as well, closing right up on Courgeus. This is where the battle's really going to spice up. Thierry Del Rey getting close. Siever's caught up to Kevin Luddy behind this lot as well. In fact, Siever's trying to edge Kevin Luddy closer to the second and third place men. The gap is 5.3 seconds. How is Pitamagi this fast? Amazing. But now Thierry Del Rey is giving Courgeus some massive pressure. Can he get alongside him? 4 laps to go. Thierry Del Rey still giving Casper Courgeus a mighty, majestic battle down the back straight here. Del Rey's going to have a think about it. Courgeus is on the back foot trying to defend. And that's going to cost him more time to Stentorian Pitamagi, who's already 5.5 seconds up the road. Amazing battle from Thierry Del Rey. He is going to continue to push to see if there's a chance. Oh, we've got an off. It's Barry Pullinger. Barry Pullinger's gone off at 5. Off at 7. Barry Pullinger got squeezed out there in the battle. So Ramos through, Leon's through, Rohrwasser and Pullinger, it looks like, came together. So Rohrwasser's come off pretty badly. Pullinger's come off even worse. So it looks like the two of them tangled up at turn 7. Stentorian Pitamagi continues to lead. 5.6 seconds ahead of Casper Courgeus. Now Siever's in front of Luddy for 4th place. Ramo is 6th, Leon is 7th, Biffiger is 8th. There is the 632 of Flo Jimenez. Now behind Nico Rohrwasser. Barry Pullinger has rejoined about 7.5 seconds back from the pack. That is a real shame for Barry Pullinger. He's going to have to fight on in the final. Look at Thierry Del Rey on the back of Casper Courgeus through turn 6. Fighting hard. The rest of the field is now a train from 4th downwards. But the battle is for 2nd place. We're watching Siever. Here we go. Del Rey on the back of Courgeus. Philip Siever, Kevin Luddy, and Antti Rameau in the top 6. Philip Siever leads the charge from 4th. Down to 7th is Carlos Leon. Biffiger, Rohrwasser, and the local man, Florent Jimenez. Thierry Del Rey in 3rd place, not quite close enough to close up on Casper Courgeus. He's got an opportunity. That's how far back Barry Pullinger is. You just caught a glimpse of him there. Here's the battle for 2nd. Nearly 6 seconds behind Pitamagi. Unbelievable speed from the Estonian out in front. But the Estonian in 2nd place is under some massive pressure from Thierry Del Rey, the Ike's Racing Team driver, having to defend big time from Thierry Del Rey. So as they continue to squabble, what can the man from Belgium do on the Mach 1 motorsport kart? There's Pitamagi, still leading the way comfortably. The gap is going to open up to 6 seconds as he comes across the timing beacon this time. Wait for it. There are the other two. Del Rey now starting to squabble from Casper Courgeus. Gap is 6.2. He pulled out 3/10 in that sector alone. That's how much time Casper Courgeus is losing to the race leader. But Del Rey's now going to try and come round right on the outside. Trying to get the undercut for Casper Courgeus. Courgeus is trying to find out where he is. He does for the inside and Del Rey's through. Magnificent, but he's going to have to cut across to cover him. Courgeus is back down the inside. Don't even think about it. He edges him. He has to force Courgeus onto the brakes. Del Rey psychs him out. Oh, into the final lap we go, and Thierry Del Rey has left his best for the final corners. Magnificent. He gets through, and now it's up to Casper Courgeus to close him down. But that was Del Rey psyching out Courgeus. Total psychology. He forced him to get on the brakes. He thought, Casper Courgeus, that Del Rey was going to hit him. He wasn't. Del Rey knew exactly what he was doing. But 8.1 seconds further up the road, Stentorian Pitamagi is dominated. There he is. He's on the run to 14. This has been a masterclass in X30 Super Shifter. If you want to be a champion, if you want to win, if you want to dominate, just spend half an hour with Stentorian Pitamagi. He'll tell you a little bit about what he knows, but he won't give all his tricks away. He wins in majestic fashion. Thierry Del Rey is going to come through for 2nd in front of Casper Courgeus. Great battle between those two. 4th place will go the way of Philip Siever in front of Kevin Luddy and Antti Rameau from Carlos Leon, Michel Biffiger, Nico Rohrwasser and Florent Jimenez, with Barry Pullinger eventually going to come home in 11th place. He'll be disappointed with that. And so too will Rohrwasser with 9th. But then Lionel Chalet will come home in 12th position. And Joao Diaz is not going to make the flag, having already retired. But Stentorian Pitamagi 8.7 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. Would you believe it? Thierry Del Rey second from Casper Corjus. Philippe Seaver is fourth ahead of Kevin Luddy, Antti Rameau, Carlos Leon, Michel Biviga, Nico Rohrwasser, Florent Jimenez, Barry Pullinger, Lionel Chalet, and the retiree is Joao Dias of Portugal. Stentorian Pilimagi comes back to the pits on his own. It's going to be a country lifetime before anybody else comes up to him. And if he doesn't win the final in this current form, I'll be very surprised indeed.